if you wish to be a leader in any field, is to become an excellent physician, and in radiology, obviously, an excellent radiologist. I think that garners respect from your colleagues, and I think leads to many other opportunities.
Could you give us a 30 seconds masterclass on leadership?
Well, I would say that leadership is not what I see as an inborn talent.
Mm-hmm.
I think many of us have to learn, like with many things, to become good at leadership. So I think just like becoming a good radiologist or a good physician, you have to really work at it and learn and mastering the various skills that are required for good leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously you have to get involved and stay involved. So find opportunities that sort of fit your particular interests and your expertise, and join committees and have opportunities to become involved. Next thing I'd say is whatever you commit to do, whether it's writing a paper, giving a lecture, doing committee work, what you do, you should try to do as best as you can. So do it well and do it on time, because there's nothing more frustrating to leaders than people who make commitments and promises but aren't able to fulfill them. Next thing I'd say is be a good colleague. Be kind to your junior faculty. Support them in their interests, because I think mentorship is really important. I know that's in many ways how I had many opportunities. I had wonderful mentors, and they offered me opportunities primarily because they saw something in me that perhaps I didn't necessarily recognize in myself. And then lastly, what I would say is be a good listener and a good communicator, because I think it's really important to listen to people, understand their issues. And I think it's really important to communicate to people what you're thinking. And when you're making decisions as a leader, be upfront and do that in person if possible, not via email or text, because I think people appreciate a person-to-person method of communication.
Yeah, that's actually super helpful. So what do you think about those remote work trend, kind of like accelerated by COVID? How do you think that affecting people's people skills?
Well, that's a really good question. I tell all of my junior colleagues that while obviously remote work is a reality, it's not going to stop, and we're going to be continuing to do that out of necessity. I think really it's very important to have person-to-person interactions with residents, with your colleagues. The only way to really gain trust of your colleagues and of other leaders is to be there in person when possible, because I think there's really no substitute for person-to-person interactions.
Yeah, I think you gain a lot by watching a good leader follow a good boss. What advice would you give to the younger generation who are interested in editorial work?
I think the most important thing to do, and I still enjoy doing this to this day, is to become a peer reviewer, because you learn a lot about the advances in the field. You sort of see what people are writing and lecturing about and doing research in. So I began as a peer reviewer, and then eventually became a panelist for the chest section of radiographics, applied to become the editor of radiographics, and was fortunate enough to be chosen by the RSNA board to be the editor. So that's sort of was my pathway to editorship.
Yeah, you've been very humble about this experience, but I'm sure you gave a lot to the society, gave back through those reviewer work. What's the best financial advice you received that helped you to manage the responsibilities of building a family, repay your student loans, and also retire?
I think it's important probably to sit down when you begin working as a young radiologist and develop a financial plan that you can implement and follow. The other thing I would say, and I think is reinforced in many blogs and websites and from many experts, is try to live beneath your means during the first few years of your career. Maybe live as a resident, if you will. Pay off those loans, which are at high interest rates, and try to eliminate the debt. Make sure you are paid what you deserve, and invest in index funds. And the market generally will take care of you after many years, and you will be financially sound if you just sort of follow those basic pieces of advice.
Yeah, I love that. And if you could go back in time, give your younger self one piece of the advice, what would it be?
Well, I think it would really be to be a little bit more intentional and to try and be more selective in commitments. I know there were many times when I overcommitted and it compromised my time with family, with friends, and took a toll, frankly. And I don't necessarily think that was the healthiest thing to do. And I think we want our leaders in radiology and in medicine to be well balanced, and not only to be leaders and experts in the field, but also to be good people, good communicators, and to have a positive outlook on life. So I do think it's really important to focus on your own well-being as well as being engaged and involved professionally. So I guess that would be the best advice that I would give.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. This is really helpful for us as the younger generation to see what you really earned from all your experience throughout the years.